Hi, today I want to talk to you about the 30, 60, 90-day plan and how you can use that to leverage your skill sets in an interview and get that job offer. So first of all, the 30, 60, 90-day plan is just basically taking a pen to what will you do in the first 90 days of your employment. And this outline, providing it in the interview, will actually make the difference. It'll actually get you the job offer because it will communicate to the company, the prospective employer, what you understand about the job, which, believe it or not, is a huge piece that the hiring manager tries to ascertain in that interview is, do you really understand the job? Because if you don't understand the job, the question is, do you really know whether you want to do it or you can do it? So number one, it tells them, do you understand the job? The second thing that it does is it tells them that you're able and willing to do things that aren't required but that might be useful in your job. Because if you'll do it in the interview, then you might do it when you're employed there as well. Third thing that it tells them is that you understand the pieces of the job and that you set goals and that you put those down on paper, and then therefore you're probably more likely to achieve those. So let's go through that 30, 60, 90-day plan and talk about how to develop it. If you go to my blog at www.phcconsulting.com/WordPress and look up business plans for interviews, you'll see that there's a number of articles that I've written on the 30, 60, 90-day plan. Basically, the first piece of that, and you can set this up however you like, but basically 30, 60, 90-day plan at the top of the page, and then the first 30 days is typically going to be filled with doing the necessary training, orientation, meeting your boss, meeting people that might work for you, maybe having an initial relationship development in customers if you're a salesperson, learning the systems within the organization. If you're a salesperson, maybe it's Salesforce.com. It could have to do with Oracle if that's what the client company uses, or possibly it's just their internal email system. So the first 30 days are really filled with that kind of training, information download that has to happen for you to be successful at the organization. The next 60 days are very important. In a sales role, they might be the time when you would actually sit down, look at all your targets, prioritize those targets based on the 80-20 rule, which is another rule that I have in my blog post that you can read about. Or maybe it is if you're in a manufacturing job or a product management job, maybe there's some strategic meetings that you need to attend, some technical conventions that you need to go to, or maybe you need to go and see other sites that the company has in other areas and meet those people in those facilities. The 90-day becomes much more difficult, and it really highlights whether or not you know what the job is, because the 90-day is when you're actually getting into the nuts and bolts of the job. Now, the 30, 60, 90-day plan will make the difference as to whether or not you will get the job offer, and I've had many candidates who this plan has made the difference, and hiring managers and interviewing managers have given me feedback that they find it extremely useful in doing those things that we talked about first. Does the candidate understand what the job is? Can the candidate do the job? Do they plan? Are they willing to do the work that is required in order to be successful? I had a candidate recently who was applying for a job where financial skill sets and contracting skill sets were very important, and he did not have those. He was very well qualified for the job in other areas, but not in that area. So in his 30, 60, 90-day plan, he actually highlighted how he would do continuing education for himself to gain those skill sets that he knew that would be very important if he were going to be successful at that job. The hiring manager was extremely impressed when he saw that on the 30, 60, 90-day plan. And he saw that the candidate had thought those things out, recognized his weaknesses, and was going to bolster those with continuing education. So you can see it's an extremely powerful tool. It has a very, very strong impact on the hiring manager. And really and truly, it is a great way for you to determine whether or not you know what the job is and if you can do the job. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call or send me an email. Check out our blog at www.phcconsulting.com, and it's /WordPress for the blog. I look forward to hearing your feedback, and I wish you the best of luck.